Right, Shalom. We're out here again to prophesy the downfall of America. Before we get started, we want to give all praises to Yahweh,
Ba Camp, Ba Camp, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the elder apostles, Greg Bluestone. Shalom to all the Akim that are in the truth and sincerity. And you know, we're just out here once again out in the city to prophesy against His kingdom, man. But we're going to start off with Habakkuk chapter 2 and start at the top.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. And the Lord answered me and said, write the visions and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth.
Right, and that's what we're doing, man. Because the scriptures, this is the vision of what's to come, man. This is a book of prophecies, all right. And as prophets, we're making it clear to the people what prophecies are about to take place, man. You know, and there's a lot of prophecies that are getting ready to happen, such as the mark of the beast. All right, that's one major prophecy. All right.
Verse 3. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch, set me upon the tower on the watch to see what he say unto me, and what I shall answer, not in reproof. Verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it should speak and not lie.
Right, and that's what time we're in, man. We're at the end, and the prophecies are speaking, man. There's so many different signs that we're at the end, man. Mm-hmm. All these people, a large percent of the U.S. citizens are unemployed. All right, you got the meat shortages. And that's getting ready to affect a lot of people, man. When you can't go to the store and you can't buy meat, all right, it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real when these people can't get fast food, when they can't get McDonald's, all right. These people are gonna bug out, and then that's just the signs that we're in, man. The famine, and then the famine of the word, all right.
Yeah, cut if I may say, I went to a Benji spot on the way here, and they had a sign up talking about because of meat shortages. Oxtails are like a large plate of oxtails, like $18, man.
$18.
Yeah, they ain't that serious. But yeah, that goes into that food shortage.
Right. Right, and it's only gonna get worse, man. Like it says in the book of did it stop?
No, we gotta charge him.
Oh.
Okay, good. Keep going. He's coming. You got it. Keep going.
All right. You know, and like it says in the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, that famine is going to get bad. Get that Lamentations, you know where it talks about that. All right.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the... I'm sorry, verse 4. No, I'm sorry, verse 5. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 5. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dung.
Okay.
That's talking about these people, these wicked people that live here in Babylon, man. These people, they live delicately, man. All right, what does it say about scarlet?
It says, they that were brought up in scarlet embrace dung.
All right, because like in the ancient world, if you had a scarlet garment, that means you had money. And spiritually, that's talking about how these people they live good, man. These people live good, but pretty soon they're going to be starving. Pretty soon they're not going to have nothing to eat, because all those FRNs, those Federal Reserve notes that they have, they're not going to be able to do nothing with that in that day, man. The scripture says, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath." All right.
It says, verse 6, for the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on it.
You know where it says about when it talks about the famine?
was that Lamentations 4 and 7? 4 and 7, I believe. It's Lamentations 4 and 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with 4 and 9. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these find a way strictly for want of the fruits of the field.
So the times that we're coming into, man, you'll be better off just getting shot in the head than starving to death, man. That's a slow, painful death, because when you starve to death, your body starts eating itself. Your stomach acid starts breaking down your body, pretty much, and you don't got no energy. It gets to the point where you can't even move because you don't got no energy. And that
pains,
yep.
all that stuff. Headaches.
And if you get to that point, even if you eat food, you could die. Like if you get to the point to where you're starving, if you eat too much, you could die. So that's like a terrible death, man. Starving to death. And a lot of these people, they're gonna taste that judgment, man. You know? Is there any more in that?
Yep. It says, verse 10, the hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children.
Yep, and that's going to be happening too, man. Cannibalism. A lot of people, they're going to be so desperate because when you're hungry, you can't think straight, man. These people are so used to eating fast food. They're so used to being able to get a meal. Quick. That's why they got that fucking that Uber Eats shit. You know, they got all them things where you could just order food like real quick and somebody would bring it to them.
Yeah, Postmates.
Yeah, Postmates. That's what I was trying to think of. DoorDash. Yep. So these people, they're used to just getting stuff at the drop of a dime, man. They're used to just getting food. And when they don't have that no more, they're gonna bug out, man. And they're gonna resort to cannibalism. A lot of them. Yep, they're gonna eat their own children, like they said.
The hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my time to take a trouble. Time to take a trouble. When it ain't gonna be fruitful, it's not gonna be
Accessible.
yeah, accessible. It's not gonna be civilized out here to go to the store and make trade these things with people, money for food.
Right.
People gonna start going wild, even though they're gonna have the market beef, it's still gonna be like that, because Esau totally shut down the system.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but and even if they get the market of beef, it's still gonna be like meat shortages. It's still gonna be barely any food. So even if they get that, they only gonna get scraps, and it's not gonna be enough. All right, these people got a lot of judgment because of their pride, man. Because these people are the most proud people on the face of the earth, man. These so-called Americans, which really they're Babylonians. All right. You got that? What verse is that? It says, "Go on to the
Amos 5:18. Woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light."
Right. So it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord." That's really talking about you black attacking Christians and you other people and you other false religions, man. You people, you want the day of the Lord. You want the Lord to come back. But like the scripture says, it says, "Woe unto you." The word "woe" means destruction. So you people who want the day of the Lord to come, and you're not right, man. That day is really against you, man. You really don't want that day to come if you know what's coming, man.
Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and laid his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?
Right, so the day of the Lord is going to be a very dark time, man. It's going to be a very dark time, and spiritually that means there's not going to be any wisdom, because light is symbolic of wisdom. So these people, they're not going to know what's happening, so they're going to be in darkness in that day, man. All right, and that's why the scripture says, and can you get First Thessalonians 5, I believe, where it says the Lord come at a thief in the night. These people don't know what's coming, man. But we got the vision, man. We got it. The scripture, that's the vision. So we can already see it coming.
That's why this book is important too. I had to your point the scripture. The President of the United States in his inauguration put his hand on the Bible.
Right.
It goes to show you the importance of the Bible.
Right.
First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
That's right. It's going to come as a thief to these people because they're not watching. These people are not worried about the prophecies. They're not worried about the food shortages. These people don't think that's going to affect them until it's right in their face and then it's too late. All right, and these people, they're not expecting a so-called black man to come from the skies with so-called UFOs. These people are not expecting that, man. That's like the last thing in these people's mind. All right, read it.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, and travail upon a woman with child.
All right, so when they think it's peace and safety, when they hear Trump say, "Oh, the economy is doing good, we got jobs, people gonna think everything's going back to normal when they get that chip. When they think it's peace and safety, then that's sudden destruction, man. Those ICBM thermonuclear missiles are gonna hit America when these people think everything is going back to normal. Because when they get that chip, like we said, they are gonna be able to get food, but it's not gonna be a lot. But that's gonna be the new normal. All right, it's gonna be
Take quickly. Instead of using the gun, they can just zap the chip.
Yeah, because those RFID chips they have cyanide in them. They got poison in them, so they could just burst it and just kill you. All right, and that's going to be the new normal.
For when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape.
Just like a pregnant woman, she doesn't know when her water's going to break. There's no way to tell. It just happens, and that's the same way when all hell breaks loose. It's just going to happen one day, and these people not going to know. But the Lord, we're going to know, man, because the Lord's on our side. All right, we got the light, so we can see. That is.
But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief.
That's right. We're not in darkness, man. Like I said, we got the light. We can see. You know, we know the prophecies that are getting ready to pass. All right. We know that chip is coming. We know the hour of temptation is coming. All right. We know ultimately the missiles. Ultimately, Yahweh Shah is coming back with the church, and the missiles are going to hit this place. We know that, man. So it's not going to hit us like a thief. It's not going to come to us unaware. All right.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord is come. Verse 43, but know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
Yep, so that's pretty much saying that if these people knew that the Lord was coming, if they knew the day that the Lord was coming, then they would have suffered their house to be overthrown, man. Pretty much like if they knew what was coming, if these people knew what was coming, they would get ready, man. But they don't know, man. That's why these people just walk by, they just drive by, they see us and they don't think much of us. But really, the angels are around us, man. The Lord is with what we're doing. The Lord is with us right now, man. But these people just walk by, they just see all us guys, all this. Like, you know, they don't think much of us. But little do they know that we're speaking what's getting ready to happen, man. That Yahweh Shema Shah put the words of prophecy in us. Little do these people know. Okay? Was that it on that?
Verse 44. Therefore be ye also ready for such an hour as you think not the Son of Man cometh.
Yep. It's such an hour that you think not, man. And even us, we don't know the exact day that Yahweh Shah is coming back, but at least we know that he's coming. Because these people, that they don't have any clue that Yahweh Shah is coming back. They don't even have a clue. And the ones that scoff against this truth, they know that Yahweh Shah is coming back, so they're gonna get an even worse judgment because they know. All right. So.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 3. And this is the words of Yahweh Shai in the red. It says, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. So that's the words from the man himself, you know, right? In Matthew and in Revelation. He's reiterating to watch what's going on in the world today.
What scripture is that?
Revelation 3.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth, that keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
Yeah, man, that shows you Yahweh Shai, he repeated himself. He said multiple times he's coming as a thief, man. So that's pretty much he's warning the men of the Lord to be in the right spirit, to watch and keep your garments. That's not talking about these physical garments, man. That's talking about this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because without this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you're pretty much naked. All right, you're open to the elements. All right, and Revelation 1:7.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall dwell because of him. Even so, amen. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds.
Yeah, and those clouds are what these people ignorantly and stupidly call UFOs, which they're not unidentified, man. The scriptures identify them, man. You can read about that in Zechariah chapter 5, and you can read about that in Ezekiel chapter 1. All right, the scriptures identify what you people call UFOs as the chariots of Israel, and that's how we're getting out of here, man. That's what Yahweh Shah is coming back in, man. Okay. And these people, they're not ready for that. Especially you saw these devils, they're trying to set up weapons in space. You know, space program. You devils not ready for the power that the Lord's coming back with. You know. Okay, these people are not ready. They can put all the weapons that they want in space, but they're not ready for the power that Yahweh Shah is coming back with, man. One angel could destroy the whole earth, and Yahweh Shah is coming back with the whole army with an innumerable amount. And these people are not ready for that. They don't have it in their mind that that's coming. You know? You got that?
Yeah, sorry. Come on. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Right, and that's talking about us, man. We're standing boldly before the face of something that has afflicted us, because we know you devils are watching, man. All right, these devils that we're out in the open. You devils could run up on us at any time, but we're not scared. All right, that's what we're right. These devils have all the resources, all the power in the world. They could come over here and stop us right now, but the Lord won't let them. That's why we're not scared, man. That's why we're standing in boldness. All right.
Because your brother leaving, I don't know.
You know what it says.
That's just right.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Right, and you devils, you afflicted us and you made no account of our labors, man. Because Israelites pretty much invented like all the things, like all the major appliances, like refrigerators, you know, traffic lights. Israelites invented pretty much anything, even the internet, man. When you devils, you made no account of those labors, man. All right, you know?
Yeah, and that also goes into slavery, man.
Right.
You know, us busting our ass, you know, laboring in the system. You know, whether it's cash crops or infrastructure, railroad system. You know, we didn't get no compensation from that, truly. You know, that's why it's called wage slavery. You put in, you basically get paid wages. And what it say in Haggai? You didn't get that. Put in a bag of holes. Which is the system, the debt. Because debt represents the pit. So whenever you put something in a bag of holes, you're putting it right back into the system, man. Right. Credit card debt, student loan debt, mortgage, car payment,
Insurance.
And it never ends up.
Haggai chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, and ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag of holes.
That's a situation that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have been in for the past hundreds of years, man. That's the situation we've been in, man. And not getting paid what we deserve for what we work, man.
Right.
All right, and you devils are gonna pay for that in the kingdom of heaven. We're gonna do the same thing to you, but even worse. You devils, we're gonna pay you in pain. That's how we're gonna pay you, devils, in the kingdom. When you're doing that back-breaking work, we're gonna pay you by whipping you in the back. All right, we're gonna do way worse than you did to us. Okay. You got any more on that?
I got a precept.
Oh, you can bring it out.
This is James 5 and 4. And it says, Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Because like when you read in Haggai, this whole system is based upon a scam, man. Even the food, like it says, you eat, but you are hungry. Because majority of the food that we're fed is fluff and fillers and you know, and BS basically. GMOs, you know, it's all kind of fluff. So by the time you finish eating it, 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, you as hungry as if you didn't eat at all. So everything in this system that we're in, like the brother was going into, the system is one big fraud, you know?
Right, this place was built off of lies, man. And that's why it says in Revelation 18 that her sins have reached into heaven. If you could hold that, Revelation 18. You got any more?
Yeah, this is you coming up. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of the salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
Right? These people are going to be amazed when they see the angels, when they see the chariots, man. When they see the chariot so big that when you look up in the sky, that's all you see. You don't see the blue. You don't see any stars or anything. All you see is a chariot. That's how big it's going to be, man. And you people you're not ready for that. That's why it says man's heart is going to fail them for fear. Because you people you never seen nothing like that. There's never been a time in history where this deliverance that's getting ready to happen has happened, man. This is gonna be the first time that this ever happened, and that's why this is gonna overshadow our deliverance in Egypt. All right, they're not gonna be talking about how the Lord used Moses to split the Red Sea. They're not gonna be talking about that no more. They're gonna be talking about how Yahushua came back with the chariots and destroyed this damn devil and delivered the elect.
Yeah, which it's going to be spoken of in the kingdom, but that's going to be the greater deliverance.
Right.
It's that Jeremiah 16 and 14.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Like the brother said, like we're still gonna have the records of everything. We're still gonna keep the old Passover, but it's gonna be a new Passover too. You know.
All right, verse 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
that's what you devils are going to be saying to yourselves in the kingdom. You're going to be pulling out your hair like, damn, we fucked up. How did we not see this coming? Because you devils, you have all of our records. You know where the Israelites. They have all the records of what happened in ancient Egypt. So you should know what's going to happen, Esau. All right. Because you devils watching stuff, you should know what's coming. But you devils are so proud, you're just going to keep on going until you get taken down.
And the Lord hardwired that in Esau's DNA, man. You know, because this is a great story. In every great movie or book that you read, you know, whether it's dealing with characters, you have the allies and you have the enemies. You have the protagonists and you have the antagonists. Where somebody has to fit the bill of the antagonist. The antagonist, when he grew up, he didn't want to be the antagonist and to be a super villain. The Joker want to be like the new Joker movie. The Joker want to be the goddamn super villain. Have a bugged out mom and basically be on all kind of psychiatric.
Two-Face.
Yeah, Two-Face. Two-Face definitely didn't want to do it when you watch the Batman. He actually was like pro.
Yeah.
He was a good guy.
He was a politician, something to that degree. But he got turned, man. So really, the Lord created Esau to be the wicked, man.
Right.
And there's no way that he can shake or move out of that that situation.
What you made crooked can't be made straight.
It can't be made straight.
Can a leopard change his spots?
Got that in
Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive none of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquity.
Yeah, this devil's been doing so much wickedness for so long that pretty much like his tab is all the way up to the heavens, man. It's like if you go to a restaurant and you order like the most expensive stuff, but you don't have any money. Like your tab is gonna be super high, and you gotta pay that.
Gotta pay that.
Yep, you Edomites, you're gonna pay for everything that you did, man. All right, read on.
Reward her, Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. And the cup which she had filled to her double.
Right, and like I said, we're gonna do double to you Edomites that you did to us. All right, all the wickedness that you did to us, we're gonna do back to you double, but in righteousness. All right, we're not gonna do any wicked shit like butt breaking. We're not gonna do no wicked shit like that. But we're gonna
Castration.
Yeah, we're not gonna do none of that, man.
It cuts the thumb off, bro.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
You Edomites are some sodomites, man. You like
You had eunuchs in the king?
you Edomites are some sodomites, man. You like playing with other man's rob.
They don't know that really.
Eating slaves.
Oh yeah,
Slaves
they would do
that
that.
we gonna eat
That
together.
turn.
Oh yeah.
That shit was disgusting.
We wouldn't need you if all of us are in order.
Skeletons.
We're not gonna be watching no proper.
Oh, fuck no. I'm not having
do that. I'm gonna be having Edomite skulls. I'm gonna have Edomite skulls like decorated in my house.
We don't know.
Like cold Edomite skull with gold or some shit. We're gonna be doing that. But we're not gonna do the wicked shit that you did to us, man.
I got a precept to go with what you're saying. Sirach 33
Neutering a human.
and 24. Fodder, wine, and burdens are for the ass.
Yeah, the ass is what? The donkey. And the donkey is designed for fodder, a one, and burden. That's why they're known as what? One of the beasts of burdens. And the one is, if I'm not mistaken, that's for correction. If I'm not mistaken, fodder, brother, look up fodder real fast.
It says, and bread, correction, and work for a servant.
And Esau is a natural servant, but he put us in servitude and made us, eat the bread of this system, give the correction and work.
Yep.
But that the tables is going to be turned, just like we read in Revelation 18.
If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty.
Right.
Hey, that's really the epitome of Esau. Because Esau, what? He got into a position where he actually established his empire. Then you have what? Even here in America, you have the Lady Liberty, which that liberty goes into free will to do and gather abroad, do wickedness. Scripture says what?
you give a wicked woman liberty, she'll gad abroad and go off. So how much more the goddamn devil? That's what in Revelation 20th chapter, where the devil shall be let out his chains. That's Esau being brought back in rulership through liberty of the Lord. But it says, if thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. And yeah, and the foot was always supposed to be on Esau's neck, even when you go into the ancient records.
Yep.
That's why the men were so aggressive when the devil, the nation of Israel. Yeah, the prophet Samuel, he was pissed off with Saul. Saul lost the kingdom, you know, and that was one of the reasons, was because he didn't know who was
Didn't kill him.
Agag the Amalekite. But it says, but if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty. A yoke and a collar do bow the neck, so are tortures and torments for an evil servant. Just like you said, that torture, right? That torture and yeah, that father.
Coarse food for livestock, composed of entire plants and food, leaves, stalks, and grain. People consider it as readily available and above value.
Well, basically, like I said, fodder, one and burdens are for the ass. So our bread, correction, and work for it, he was serving. But jumping down, like he speaks about the tortures and torments. Tortures and torments are in the scriptures. It ain't gonna be like Esau put this hellified ass whooping up on us, and then he gonna be just roller skating through the kingdom. Right. You know, he just gonna be a common citizen. Yeah. Just telling Salakia for doing that to your speaking Hebrew. Right. For your forefathers, you know, I feel ashamed, you know.
Damn.
All the soldiers.
It was fucked up, man. I had demons on me, man. Nah, you gonna have to pay.
That's right.
And the only way that you're gonna be able to make that payment is you have to feel that what you gave.
That's right.
He said
I took for it too.
roller skating in the
No
kingdom.
socialism in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah. just like
barbecuing and shit.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Just like you Edomites, back in the day, we couldn't look at you in the eyes. It's gonna be like that times two in your kingdom. You're not even gonna be able to be in our presence without getting an ass whooping, man.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to make any noise come out your mouth without us fucking you up for it.
Goddamn, bro.
Shit, hey.
Did I just hear you breathe?
Right.
You better not be breathing when we're
Is
like,
this devil existent?
Like your parents after you get a butt whooping. Yeah, I better not hear no sniffing. What, man? I just got my ass whooped.
no,
But he did us the same way though. That's the thing about it. Them records of plantation slavery, when you go into those documents and you hear about the situations that happen in certain jakes, man, that shit will traumatize you after you hear so many stories. You're like, damn, this devil would not let up. The torture devices, how they did the Haitians, how they did the Jamaicans, how they did the Latin tribes, individually. So we're gonna do you devils the same way, man. It's only that's justice.
That's right. We're gonna do double. All right.
This is Jeremiah 25:15 and 16. But thus saith the Lord power of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of his fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. Verse 16. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them.
Pretty much, man.
It's off the top. Jeremiah 25:16. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them.
Yeah, so the Lord's getting ready to send a sword among you Edomites, man. Okay? And it's gonna get ugly out here, man. It's gonna get ugly for you devils, man. Jeremiah 16:16. It's gonna get ugly, man.
That's right.
When the Lord gives us those new bodies, we're gonna go hunting for you elites. Okay? You get that?
When predator, they got that saying though, when predator becomes prey.
Right. And it's gonna be like that movie Predator, man.
Oh yeah.
How they had that high tech shit like
Camouflage.
that coat, yeah.
Hey, you remember that? Did you watch the newest Predator? There was a Predator, and then they had a big ass Predator that started hunting the Predator.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's the Predator is Esau, and we the big ass Predator that's hunting his ass. now.
Apex.
I think they called it the Apex in that movie too.
He was Apex.
I think they called him that.
And
That movie was pretty
that's how
good.
we're gonna be, man.
That shit was dope.
Like just like in that movie, like how the Predators were like real tall. That's how we're gonna be. We're gonna be big, man. We're gonna be like fucking taller than this little ledge right here.
It's not coincidence, that, you know, even the hairstyle that they got. It looks somewhat like dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mainly that's like twist, tight knots.
And they had Israelites like playing underneath the suit. They had Israelites. It was Israelite music. They had, like,
Oh, you're
basketball
talking about
players.
like the actors?
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
basketball players.
I didn't know that. Even like when you look at the Predator, when you watch the Predator, they had like their inscriptions or whatever, however they wrote, it kind of looked Hebrew.
Like Hebrew, yeah, like Hebrew.
Yeah.
The last one.
When they went in the ship.
Yeah.
Now we just shoot anybody too. They go after the
They go after
law
specific-
enforcement.
They don't go after the broke, the poor.
Yeah, they'll go after
Yeah, because the only one that only beat him was Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Yeah.
That's spiritual.
Ooh, I got I got the definition of predator.
Ooh, okay.
It goes into the word predation, which means it goes back to the Latin preda, which is booty, seized as plunder,
Ooh.
taking of booty.
Well, that's the treasures and stuff that we're gonna take.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, shit. That's really, we ain't gonna take anything of Esau's because it's gonna. I don't want this shit to be real. You know, it's tainted. You just need to get a missile, but we gonna take your ass out of them holes. That's Esau is literally the booty. We want you. We don't want your shit. We just want you.
Well, we are gonna get that
Right.
gold that they got, because you know that they got the big ass vaults with the gold.
No, I mean like everything in here in America. This is gonna get.
Oh yeah,
I don't want this shit. We gotta be in the spirit of, like you mentioned, Samuel. The spirit told Samuel to tell Saul, go to the Edomite land, land, and kill everything: cattle, women, children, men, everything.
Because they
Burn
got
it.
killed behind taking certain riches away from
Right.
areas.
I don't want none of that Edomite stuff. Kill it all. We just want them so we can fulfill what the 2 Thessalonian. You know, it's a righteous thing to recompense.
Like niggas always talking about they want reparations. Well, reparations is gonna be Edomites themselves, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the reparations.
They're gonna be the reparations.
Them being our slaves, that's gonna be the reparations. Alright?
Right.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
We want the man
That's
that's
it.
on the dollar.
Right.
Reincarnation.
Give me that.
Give me them specifically.
And we're gonna get them devils too. We're gonna get
Yeah.
George Washington. We're gonna get
Yep.
all them devils that they did. Andrew Jackson.
Oh man, yeah, hell yeah.
We're gonna get all you devils back in the reincarnation, man.
Jake be one of them blue face hundreds, man. You should want the man that's on the hundred.
Right.
Right.
I got something after that.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. The Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.
Right. So all the curses that we went through, these devils are gonna go through it too, but it's gonna be worse for them. All right. Because when they were torturing us, they were just torturing us as men, like a man torturing another man. We're gonna be on a godly level, so it's gonna be like a God torturing a man. So
They don't want to touch you.
yeah.
You don't want that
Our
problem.
imagination is gonna be on another level too,
Well, he did that with Esau.
Yeah.
because we're on a low level. Like we can't think of
Our imagination.
Yeah, our
limited.
imagination isn't on a high level, man. But in the kingdom, we're gonna be like so amplified that we're gonna think of things to do to devils that you could never imagine, man. It's gonna be worse than anything you did to us.
Yeah.
All right.
They gonna be the new niggas. They women gonna be cussing them out, you know, saying that they ain't shit.
Yep.
They're gonna be just looked down upon on all levels. They're gonna be a prop. Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. All the curses that we had to suffer.
Yeah.
You know, which them curses hurt, man.
Double though.
Yeah.
They got to double up.
Discontinue us from our heritage.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're gonna give Esau his heritage.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell you an Edomite.
Right.
The fact that he's an Edomite is a curse, so we're gonna make sure that like every day you're an Edomite.
Right.
Yeah.
You're an Edomite.
You ain't shit Edomite.
Just
That
like
nigga Edomite.
Just like on Roots, how they were whipping them and saying your name's Toby, we're gonna be whipping them and saying you're Esau. You're Esau.
I'm American.
Yeah.
I'm an American. My name is Robert. No, your name is E, nigga.
But you know what? It ain't gonna really take the difference between us and the Lord. Like you said, Esau never had a heritage. So the thing about it is, we're not gonna have to beat Esau into him.
Damn,
Esau had to
right.
beat the name of Israel out of us because that's who we are. The Spirit bear witness.
you're right.
We're not gonna have to beat Esau into him because the Spirit is gonna bear witness. Just as they're gonna see the glory in us, how elaborate our life is. That's gonna be a shame onto them.
Right.
It's gonna be a mirror image of how great we are and how high and elevated we are. It's gonna be a mirror on how bad and how ain't shit they are. It's the Spirit is gonna testify in itself.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be natural.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
This is unnatural. The servant riding upon the horse and princes walking upon the earth. Like, this is abnormal. We're going to go back to normal. We ain't going to have to beat shit in them. We're not even really going to care about Esau like that. Because he's really just a shit stain on the planet Earth.
And he's gonna be done away with anyway.
Yeah.
Lord say he can wipe away all tears and trouble.
Right.
That's the trouble.
I got a precept after you, Deacon.
I got a precept real fast. Daniel 7 and 18.
Yep.
It says, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom
That's right.
and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever."
Yeah, so that's the booty, that's the plunder. That's when we become actually predators. Because even prey, if you want to actually get a prey, you got to take it. Whether you kill it and then you drag it off to your quarters, or you catch it. Now we had to suffer both of those things by the hand of Esau. We was the prey, and Esau was the predator. His blessing was the gun, and he hunted us. All right, but what do they say? It's no fun when the rabbit gets the gun. And we're not going to use your conventional sword. We're not going to use your AK-47s to round up the devils. You know, they shut down on the planet of the apes. They had the long guns and whatnot, riding horses getting knocked.
Big sticks.
Yeah, stuff like that. But we're not going to have those things, man. We're going to have pure power, omnipotent power from the Heavenly Father.
Right.
He said, "I will make thee a new sharpened instrument having teeth." That teeth represents power.
That's right. I got a quick one. No, you have.
No, you can bring
Okay. Because you're speaking how we're gonna give him like a godly punishment. This is Isaiah chapter 47. Isaiah chapter 47 and 3. "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man."
So that's the how it's shot, man. He's not coming back like he was last time. Last time he came back in a body like we got. The only thing he had was spiritual power, but he came back in like just a regular body, man. He was born by a woman, by Mary.
And a man.
Joseph and Mary.
Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just got because I know
Caveat.
scripture you quoting. The scripture
Right.
said made of a woman, but you got to just always include that.
Yeah.
Doctrine's sake.
Doctrine.
Yeah, doctrine's sake, truth's sake. Yeah, but and it says in Hebrews he was made a little lower than the angels.
Right.
So he just came. He was born, in Bethlehem. He was raised in Nazareth. He basically he went through he ate how he ate. He ate, used the bathroom.
You lived a life like we do. Yeah.
The only thing that he had over us was he didn't sin. He was in the flesh, but he never committed a sin.
Or that the scriptures say, and I think in the book of John, the 3rd or 4th chapter, it talked about how the Spirit, John the Baptist was talking to him, talking about Yahushua, how the Spirit was giving to him immediately, meaning quicken, and we get it in measure. That's the big difference too. He got the whole Spirit, like it speaks of when he got baptized. He saw the Spirit coming down like a dove, and I think in one of the accounts it said Spirit coming down in a bodily form. So
He knew he was the elect.
yep, he already knew it. He knew that's John the 2nd chapter. He knew all men, he knew intentions of men, and he knew who he was all his lives.
Well, that's the ultimate. There's levels to the predatorial animals, so that there's a balance to us, so that we understand that Yahushua is the second most powerful being outside of the Heavenly Father. So with that measuring, it keeps us in check, because you can never go against somebody that, like, if you know that person, like, if that person could kill you, as the scriptures say, you're gonna stay out of the way. So the Lord is a better predator than us in the spirit, and it's definitely gonna show in the kingdom. That's why it says his stature was higher than all.
That's crazy.
That king predator.
It's like, it's like, oh, well, the alpha lion just walked into the room.
Right.
And that's how you know how
He's
foolish
crazy.
Esau is, because like we just said, like if you know someone is way stronger than you and they could like they're on a whole different playing field, and you're not gonna mess with them. But these damn devils, they're actually gonna try to fight against your shot. And like the scripture you brought out, he's not gonna come back as a man.
Right.
You know, he's gonna come back as an angelic, godly force.
Right.
Okay.
I got a precept after you.
Oh,
This is Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord,
9 and
and
20.
they shall fish
Psalm 9
them.
and 20.
And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every
Yeah,
mountain,
you just a
and
man.
from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. Jeremiah 16:16.
Scripts
Behold,
like that made me
I
give
will
it.
send for many fishers, saith the
Put
Lord.
it in perspective.
Right.
fine, and that's what we're doing right now, man. We're spiritual fishermen right now, right? We're going out
That's
the
a
line
joke.
to Lord willing, catch a member of the elect. That's what we're doing right now, man. We're fishing. All right, you know.
I continue on, it says, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks.
So just like the Lord sent us out here to fish, just like we're doing right now, the Lord's gonna change our spirit, and we're gonna be doing something else, man. We're gonna be hunting. It's gonna be just like what we're doing now, except on another level. The Lord's gonna give us spiritual powers. We're gonna be able to pretty much like X-Men, like Professor Xavier. He was able to see everyone who had mutant powers on our planet.
Right.
We're gonna be able to see all of the targets that the Lord tells us to go after.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to just like see it in our mind and just go after them. Like I said, we're gonna hunt them from the holes in the rocks. All right, you devils, you're gonna try to like hide in your bunkers. You're gonna try to hide in your space stations. You're gonna try to hide under the ocean. But the Lord's gonna allow us to see where you are. All right.
My God.
Yeah.
Go fuck shit.
Alright, this is Amos 92. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, this will I bring them down.
That's a good one.
Right. So even if you devils go all the way like super far under the ground, the Lord's still gonna send us after you. All right, because nothing is hid from the eyes of the Lord.
Right.
The angels are everywhere. And it said if you go up to heaven, the Lord don't get you. All right.
Though they dig in the hell, you know, them bunkers, man. And them bunkers are deep as hell. Because hell represents the pit. So how we gonna get in the highly intricate bunker that with certain so-called, you know, security and you know, when they create those bunkers, you can put grenades and shit in front of them and they won't even penetrate.
Right.
How can you get us into something that's that ironclad, the toughest steel that even nuclear missiles wasn't even able to get low enough to even destroy?
Because it's not about the nuclear bomb. It's about the fact that it's sealed from the nuclear radiation. So that's how sealed tight it is. To the fact that you said that it basically is keeping out all poisons.
Airtight.
It's airtight.
The Lord is gonna put a spirit on us to go down there, man.
Right.
Fine. And mentioning X-Men again, that movie X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
I believe like near the end, like all the presidents, all the politicians, they were like in that bunker, and like Magneto just like lifted their ass like out the ground. Like I could picture us doing that, man. When they're deep down in the bunkers, we're gonna be able to like see through the ground and just like lift them up.
Be on some Avatar earthbending shit.
Right.
Split the ground.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey,
goddamn,
hey,
crack you doubles up, man.
The Lord said
What's
we're gonna
up?
do greater things than He did,
Right.
so we're gonna be doing things like that, you know.
Alright, this is Amos 93. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
Right, so if the devils try to go down to the deepest depths of the sea, the Lord could send Leviathan after you. Right, you devils ain't ready for Leviathan.
Yeah, hell no, man.
It says in Job 41. That's Job 41, right?
41.
It says-
40 is Behemoth.
Oh, time. It says in Job 41 that Leviathan scales are so tight and they're so strong that nothing can penetrate them.
Right.
So none of your weapons, none of your guns.
It's
your
lava,
bullets-
brother. It's lava.
Oh yeah. It's like,
Where the hell are they? You know, these guys talking about Leviathan doesn't exist. They ain't even teaching no more.
Right.
You know? And even when you go into Leviathan, in the description of Godzilla, it basically has the exact similar image,
Right.
man.
Hey, and really that Job 41, I know it speaks about Leviathan. That's pretty much the Lord telling us about his power. It got this big old creature and nothing can penetrate, nothing can stop it but me.
It says in verse 3, I think it's verse 3, it says, who can stand before me? Like, you can't even stand before Leviathan. Leviathan's an animal. If you can't stand before him, how do you think you're going to stand before the Heavenly Father?
Right.
That's like a message to Edomites. You think you're going to fight against the Lord and you can't even stand before Leviathan?
You don't stand a chance,
You
man.
don't stand a chance. Hey, the scriptures have a lot of sarcasm and rhetorical questions in it, man. Even Yahweh Shai said, he's like, Yahweh Shai said, you can't pluck the elect out of my hand. Then he said, you can't pluck the elect out of the Lord's hand. So you can't even get past Yahweh Shai. You're not even going to get past the elect 144 member.
Right.
What makes you even think you're going to get to Yahweh Shai?
Right. The devils don't stand a chance, man. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you going to do, man?
You can get that tree set there.
Oh, okay, come on. This is Psalm chapter 9 and 20. Now I'll start at 19. Arise, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Yahweh, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Selah. Hey, that brother, I nod with me right there, because you know these pasty Edomites, nigga-ees, walking around Earth, they think they somebody.
Right.
That's why they have the audacity to go against the Lord. But you really just a piece of Play-Doh trying to fight an omnipotent power. Like, he's gonna make you realize and humble you so harshly. You're gonna make you realize that you are just a worm, just a man.
But it's
You
a
see?
good fight. I
Yeah.
mean, because you're only as good as your opponents. No matter how great a fighter is, he's never judged according, like Floyd Mayweather's not judged according to what Floyd has done.
Right.
It's also judged according to who he has fought.
Yeah.
So just as much as your opponent, that's as much as a part of your legacy as the next. So the Most High is going to show it because he doesn't want no weak ass. Esau's the perfect one, man.
Yeah.
You know, he puffed him up, he made him big, he made him feel like he's unstoppable because he wants a good fight. You know, nobody wants to, if anything, it look like a bully if it's just like, you know, you fighting a 4-year-old. Like, imagine Floyd fighting a 4-year-old. Like,
Right.
man, come on, fight. The 4-year-old like, stop.
Get off of me.
Get off of me. You don't look like, bro, pick up somebody your own size. Well, Esau is that opponent that the Most High's going to smash, man.
Right.
And the Lord's going to use us, which makes it even more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because he's going to use the poor and the ones that's rich. We ain't never used the gun. We don't have expertise in martial arts. Like, you know, many goddamn
Soldiers.
hitmen and, you know, soldiers. We don't even, you know, some brothers don't even get into that type of, you know,
Bro,
you know.
if we were required to walk, if the Lord said right now I have to camp, go walk 5 miles right now, most of us wouldn't even be able to do it, bro.
They drop dead.
Damn near drop dead halfway into it, man.
Because what does it say that, roughly paraphrasing how a regular man is going to be like David, and David's going to be like the Most High brother that gets that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
King David.
Wise men
Oh,
shall
that's
be like David.
That's Zephaniah.
That's Zephaniah. That's Zephaniah.
It's one of the Z's.
And everybody knows the story, of course, as far as us, you know, these people on the outside, they don't be knowing what's going on. But the story of David, how he tread upon the nations, you know, he couldn't even rebuild the temple because his hands were so bloody.
Right.
David had the most bodies out of anybody in the scriptures, man. You know, recorded. When you actually go into it, and scholars actually go into it, you know, you know, Samuel and all the different accounts of David.
Mm-hmm.
What David was known to what? Slay tens of thousands.
Right.
Yeah.
Or hundreds of what they said. Saul slayed thousands.
Thousands, David,
David
tens of thousands.
man. And they wasn't just saying that, just, you know, putting you know, parading and just putting a false epithet or title on David. David was putting in work. He was putting
Putting
stuff
in work.
down, man.
I'm sure our bodies back then too.
Right.
David and the mighty man, that was a dream team, man.
Yeah, man.
David didn't even have the bodies that the Lord's gonna give us. He just, I mean, he had like a super high level body because that's an ancient world, and he had spiritual power, but he didn't have those like celestial bodies that we're gonna get in the kingdom. He had like an earthly body.
Leaping walls.
Yeah.
So Boaz still was broken by his arm.
David could damn near fly. Like if you jump that high, you could damn near fly. But in the kingdom, we're actually gonna be able to fly.
He had to come down. Like when we get to that point, we come down when we want to.
Yeah.
Gravity took over at one point for him. He didn't defy the laws of nature the way that the elect will.
Zechariah 12:8. Try that.
Yeah, like I said, David still had a level of bodily limit.
Yeah.
The elect 144,000,
Exactly.
they're gonna be like gods. As it is written, ye are a God as gods. You are all children of the Most High. But when you're a perfect God, where you don't have to sin anymore, you don't have to transgress. David transgressed, so he was still imperfect.
Yeah.
In Psalm 51, he spoke about how he was a sinful man.
Right.
He slipped at times, but we're gonna be, even above. So and it's 144,000 David's running around. Men that's greater than David.
Right.
David was pretty much like a demigod. He wasn't
Yeah.
like a true God. But we're gonna be actually like true gods.
Right.
And what is and it said David shall be like the most high.
That's the same script.
Yeah. So even David, how great of a man he was, that king coming back, he gonna be on a level of the most high.
Yeah.
On earth.
Say-
On earth.
Yep.
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. And that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Let me read that over. And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God.
It's on Netflix.
Like I said, the first word, feeble among you shall be as David, man. That feeble, that's like the lowest brother. That's like the lowest, the most peaceful, soft-spoken brother. A brother like that is going to be turned up to the level of King David, man. And then a brother that's like on a high level, a brother is, a brother that got that warrior spirit is going to be turned up on the level of
Like imagine to Zion right now.
same brother.
It just
Gets his power. I believe to Zion. I've been thinking about that a lot. I believe to Zion.
David.
He gonna be as the king.
Just like speaking out.
Because David was the chief of the armies, man.
I believe it.
And David is gonna come back. And he's gonna battle. Scripture speak about how the saints of the Most High gonna be raised up.
Right.
So everybody's gonna take part in this great battle, man. You see it like you'll watch some, you see guest appearances and things of that nature.
Like Avengers.
Yeah. Or like the Avengers, the perfect movie. You've seen all these different individuals come together for that great battle. So even the second edition, the individuals that died, if I'm not mistaken, they got raised back. So where they get that from? And
I never thought about
Avenger comes from the scriptures, man.
Right.
The vengeance. Scripture says, "Vengeance is mine," saith the Lord, and the Lord ultimately has that gauntlet, the infinity stones,
Right.
with all the crystals.
Yep.
He ain't gotta wear stone on the gauntlet on his hand or whatnot. He has that power within him, and that even really looks like a priest.
Or
That priestly ephod, man. They got that account straight out of the scriptures, man.
Right.
Verse 8, Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the angels, as God, as the angel of the Lord before them.
That's powerful.
Alright, this is Psalms 110:3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, and the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth.
So the Israelites, they're going to be willing in that day to pretty much repent. When they see that we got that power, they're going to be willing.
Y'all switching?
I got something.
So you can bring it out.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to this. Just going to really Esau
What's up?
and the fall of Esau and his kingdom. Because it's ultimately got to be by force. Esau's not gonna just bow down and just give up all these different riches that he possesses.
Right.
He owns the earth. If you look at it, like you have a car, and you'll see the ownership, and then you'll see your name. You have a title showing that you have entitlement to this vehicle. If you actually had the earth on a paper and had the title of who owns it, it'll say Esau, man.
Right.
By these different corporations. And Esau is not going to give up that power. He's going to, even if he has to exhaust all his military strength, which is aerial, earth, from the Marine troop, he has to exhaust all his financial resources. He's going to throw the, like the saying goes, I think throwing the bath water with the baby in it. He's going to throw the whole pan at you, man. Well, he's not really trying to throw it, but guess what? His attempts are going to, it's going to be to naught. Because even though he has a level of power, it doesn't compare to the Most High.
This is Job.
And who gave Esau that power? The power given to Esau, which is the blessing of the sword, was handed it down to him from Isaac.
Job 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Yeah, so all this time that Esau did to build and structure this place as we know as America, it's going to be broken down, and the scriptures give a segment of time that says one hour in Revelation 18 chapter. It's going to be easy and it's going to be quick. It's going to be a surgical strike from the Heavenly Father. I think even when you go into the account with the Babylonians, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Babylonians, how they fell, they basically said that everybody was asleep, and they basically used the waterways to actually get entry into the empire, and they basically were, slaved from there. So it's even when you go into warfare, timing is important, and basically when people are up or they're up and awake or alert, or whether they sleep, that that can actually cause the defeat or the success of a kingdom.
Like Troy?
Yeah, like Troy. Or like during the time of Genesis with Simeon and Levi, when they had took the men out when they were circumcised. That was perfect time, man. And what did the Lord say? He said he's going to come as a thief in the night. So he's going to come when you least expect it. Esau's not expecting the Lord to come back. You have these top elitists that trying to keep their eyes out there watching for prophecy and things of that nature. But Esau right now in this current state is not ready for it. He will never be ready. So he doesn't stand a chance. You can go back read that in Job 24.
Job chapter 20, verse 4, it says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment?
That's right. Keep going.
Verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens.
That's Obadiah. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, to excel or to accelerate is basically to be pushed far. So what's the acceleration of Esau? His economy, which when you go into which ultimately goes into the household management, and when you go into Esau's economy, the military is the largest budget of Esau, bar none. You have the agriculture, you have education, you have science and technology, which goes into the development and things of that nature. But the biggest portion, which that really takes the lion portions of the pie, when you look at it, is the military. And that military goes into the space stations, man. Would it Trump create a whole new branch of the military? And they're funding it with billions upon billions of dollars so that they can try to fight the Lord. We keep going.
It says, verse 6 again.
So the Lord sees him as a worthy, he's not really a worthy competitor, but he's the competitor for the Lord to take out. Yeah. The Lord ain't gonna come back and he ain't looking to take out the Hamites. That's not he's going to take down all nations. The scripture says he's the King of Kings and he's going to wear many crowns. But that's not the one that holds the crown.
Yeah, Japhet.
Yeah, Japhet. Like the main war is with the Japhites. No, the one who actually has his hands in the heavens, man. Just like when the Tower of Babel was constructed, the Lord let it get so far, get so high to the point where he dropped it, man.
Well, the statue, as you read earlier, what the Lord tells us in the book of Daniel that Yahweh shot that stone is going to hit the ankle of the statue and take out all the kingdoms and become King of Kings. But when you analyze that statue, the waist down is mostly Esau, man. The majority of that statue is Esau. Yeah? So that goes to show you that Esau has a major portion of fight towards the Lord. The Lord's not thinking about the ancient world, the Babylonians or the Assyrians. He's not even thinking about Greco-Rome. He's thinking about these Edomites right now.
They already got succeeded. Yeah. They got succeeded by America. Which what does it say? And it's a system now. That's why 7 heads and 10 horns. And those 7 heads and 10 horns didn't get put down, by just negotiations. They got put down by force. Greece, Rome. When you go into the 10 heads and the 7 horns, they already got taken down, man. That's why it says that the little horn shall take down 3 of the horns, which was America when they succeeded from Britain. Britain is the mother in the scriptures, and they took down the 3 horns, which was the Spanish, the French, and Great Britain. Got that?
Revelation? Oh, okay. So this is verse 6.
Yep.
It says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds.
Yep. So he's the only one that was able to get that far.
Yeah.
The Grecians wasn't able to get to the heavens. The Romans wasn't able to get to the heavens. The Egyptians wasn't able to get to the heavens. Who has really taken their earthly equipment? Because all this stuff everything comes from the earth. Who took their earthly equipment and created it to actually ascend to the clouds, man? Esau, through their technology, their aerial technology. Keep going. And they want to go further. That's the thing about Esau. Esau wants to. If it was up to Esau, he would take it to the Most High. That's why when you watch this movie, it was one of the characters that was in the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was the second one. The father, his name is El, which is basically Allah, which is goes to power. Eli. Scripture said, in Matthew, Eli, Sabachthani, which was what he said, my power. The job was on Guardians of the Galaxy. The second part was to kill El, which was the father of one of the characters, the main character on Guardian of the Galaxy. And Esau, if it was up to him, he would take it that far. He would try to kill the Most High. He would actually try. If it was up to him, he would send a nuke through a portal to the throne of the Most High and take him out, man.
They showed that in the first thing.
Yeah. And they got these plans. These movie inspirations and imaginations, they come from somewhere, and it's someone that's harvesting those thoughts that hold billions of dollars of taxpayers' money that is looking to invest towards these different plans, man. Which is these devils. That's why the Lord just got to take you out of power. Keep going.
It says, verse 7, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Yep, he shall perish forever like his own dung. All the capabilities, all the research and development, all the people that you possess, Revelations 18, the souls of men, everything that you have at your disposal is not gonna be. You're gonna come up short. What is that? Miserably. You're gonna fail miserably.
Yeah.
You got people that fail, but when you got somebody that failed miserably, you shouldn't even have signed up.
Going hiding.
Yep. Like you'll see a boxing match and they'll have 2 contenders, and then they'll have the bout, and then people actually hype it up to the point where people will believe that the competitor will but you got underdog stories, but in this scenario, you might think that this individual might win, and then they get the they actually get into the round, and he's just getting ragged all over the goddamn place.
He can't show his face no more.
But then they got to throw in the towel. They got to get the medical experts to check his eyes, make sure he's all good, man. Might not be able to box again a day in his life. Going underground, man. So that's how you devils are gonna lose. You're gonna get your ass whooped from the first what's the end round of 12?
12 rounds.
You're gonna get your ass whooped from the first to the 12th round, and the Lord gonna let it go the distance. Well, really, He gonna take you out quick, you know, through the Spirit, because it says in 1 hour.
Yeah, right. That's it. Yep. Sure does.
Keep going.
It says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Where is he? Where's the nation of Edom? The ones that are the innovators, like, you know, you turn on television, it's crackers all over the goddamn place, man.
Yeah.
You know, you try to, you know, when you was younger, if you wanted a toy, you had to choose out of nothing but devils, man.
Right.
Esau's face is plastered and painted all over the planet Earth. You know, your books, your favorite books, you'll look in the front, the characters be white. Everybody, Esau has literally whitewashed the earth. All the leaders, the African leaders are white. God is white. You know, whom the world calls Jesus Christ is white. The angels are white. And he's painted that picture in so many people's minds that he makes you want to be white. So that image of Esau, which is an idol. The Lord said it even in the law to tear down the idols. We got to tear that whole image of Esau out the picture, man. To the point that the scripture said, which is going to come through the Heavenly Father, that the scripture said that the prophet is going to come to pass and people will say, where the hell is he? He has no location. He has no dwelling quarters. He has no influence. He has no type of face on anything. These greenbacks, all is going to be burned up. Esau's hand in society is going to be chopped off, man. Keep going.
It says, verse 8, he shall fly away as a dream.
He shall fly away as a dream. You know, just like if you have a dream or a nightmare, and you wake up from that sudden nightmare, it doesn't exist no more. Sometimes you'll forget it. Damn, I just had some crazy presence in my thoughts, you know, and I was bugging out, but I mean, I'm up now. It's over. Same thing with Esau. That's why it tells you in Psalms, well, when we remembered the captivity of Zion, it was like them that dreamed. This nightmare is going to be lifted. And then we're going to actually live the true Israelite dream, which is going to be American nightmare, like Edomite nightmare.
Yeah.
That he has to constantly live in day in and day out, day in and day out. Keep going.
Because the scriptures say in the book of Job that what did Job say? Even when he laid down, that he found no rest.
Found no rest.
So the same thing will happen with you so-called white people in the kingdom of heaven. Even when you get a chance to sit down and rest, like the Sabbath, it's only going to be a reminder of the shame and how you even got there. But on the flip side, for us, hey, when we get a little bit of rest, sometimes that's an escape from the madness, but it's not going to be any escape for you.
No escape. There is no way out. There's no negotiations. You know, you can't even give your daughter, because we're gonna have you. When you have a nation in captivity, they can't negotiate shit. Yeah, well, you know, I'll give you my daughter. Who's actually even giving you the ability to make children?
And who made that value?
Who made that? Yeah. And property can't own property. Your daughter, what's yours is mine, player. I own you.
Yeah, here's your birth certificate, bro.
Here's
Remember
your-
these? You remember these?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did to us.
That's
When
what
they,
they did to us.
when they got us, shaved our heads, shaved our faces, put us on podiums on different platforms, and sold us basically, and branded their name within our skin, man.
Yeah.
That's what we got with these different colleges. They love name branding and whatnot. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what they do to us, man. You're mine, you're mine. Your daughter's mine, your son's mine, your whole damn inheritance is mine.
Yeah. Because you don't own nothing. You are mine. You're not even you. When you think about me, I'm yours. That's how we're gonna put it down on Esau. Keep going.
Come. It says verse 8, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
That's the vision of the night. Keep going.
It says verse 9, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more.
That's it. That's the influence. That's Esau being, because right when you dig in your pocket, you got crackers all in your bank account. You know, whether it's even actual paper, which is cash, or these debit cards. Who's these debit cards? Wells Fargo and Chase.
Yeah, they train your money.
Yeah, Capital One, the Bank of America, all these different banking branches. They're owned by devils, which are the elite bankers. These the banking dynasty was established by the banking family, which are really the kings of Esau, to be honest.
Yeah.
But those kings, which the kings of Esau, they were and they are peasants, man. Their names, which was they were first known as the Bauer family, man. Before they changed their name to Rothschild, and you have the Rockefellers, you have the Oppenheimers and the Gettys, these different, you got the Vanderbilts, which all of them don't really deal in terms of banks. You have the bankers, then you have some of them that's oil tycoons, weapons, weapons departments, and so on and so forth. But the original ones, if I'm not mistaken, the Rothschilds, which means red shield, they were the Bauer family.
What Bauer meant, like a O or something?
They meant peasant.
And they really got the story of Bauer like during the time of the First Revolution with Napoleon, when they started charging the interest.
Yep,
Once
yep.
they put that interest on that, they started funding both sides of the war. That's how they got their money.
That's how they started. That's how they established that banking dynasty. And the families, when they branched out, because you had Maya Amschel Bauer, you had Moses Amschel Bauer, and you had the sons, the Rothschild sons. Nathan was one of them. Then you had, I think it was 5 sons. You know, and they took over the different parts of Europe, and they monopolized their banking dynasty. And just like you said, the funding of both sides to the war, deception, manipulation. Somebody get James 5:1. You know, that's how Esau basically came into power. And here you have good old America today. You know, with the assistance or the lesser luminaries that help control and keep the lies and the deception going of Esau.
This is James chapter 5, verse 1.
You got something?
Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Keep going.
Verse 2.
Who is the rich man? When you go into the account of Lazarus and the poor man, when Yahweh Shah was giving that parable out, who were the rich men on earth at that time? Was the Lord speaking about the Japhet? You know? Was the Lord speaking about the Hamites? Over there in Africa getting their asses kicked? They already got their asses kicked by the Ptolemaic and Roman establishment? The Greeks and the Romans? Yeah, and the Punic Wars and all the different wars that took place. You know, they already had the Edomite gods already established in Egypt, which Egypt is one of the major headquarters in the land of Ham. He was talking about the Edomites when he gave that account with Lazarus and the rich man that wore purple, and basically his belly was full, but it spoke about how he was going to get dragged down to hell, man, and that man that was in the lower state got raised right up to and ascended to the position that he was supposed to be in. So we're spiritually Lazarus, you know, but the Lord is going to raise us up, you know. But we have some people that they even got a term, I think, the Lazarus effect.
There's a movie.
Movie. Yep.
And he brought that woman back from the dead.
And what does the scripture speak about? How we were dead. And it says in 3 days we shall be risen in the sight of the Lord. All those things have a pure purpose. The scriptures interconnect. It's the web. It's the internet, man. Everything links up perfectly, you know. And we're just prophets bringing it out to the forefront and show you how it applies now.
This is Psalms 12 and Psalms 12 and 5, and it says, "For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord, and I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times." Gun. And like you said, like, we are the ultimate poor, right? Us Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we embody the poor. When the scriptures speak about the poor and the needy, it's us. That's not speaking about the other nations. These other nations, even with what's going on right now, for the most part, they're not struggling as a nation and as a whole. We're needy. We're in need of a protection. You know, our people are afraid of being gunned down. Are East Indian little girls worried? Are there videos of little East Indian girls worried about being shot for their skin color?
They don't say East Indian laws matter.
Because it's already a known fact that
It's a known fact that it matters.
you know. Have you ever seen like I said, an East Indian girl or a American African girl be worried about dying by the hands of the police because of her skin color?
That's when you in an ultimate place of need. Like I need a protector.
Yeah, hell, you had the Chinese virus, the coronavirus that came from China, and they basically make it seem like we created this shit.
Right.
The highest prosecution or apprehensions and crackdowns haven't been going to China. You ain't been seeing Chinese neighborhoods getting assaulted. I haven't seen one video of police in China shaking down groups because of this coronavirus thing, but it's been mainly happening to you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And just like you said, the other nations ain't feeling the whip really directly from Esau. They feeling it, but they're not feeling it how we feel it. That's why it tells you in the account with Lazarus and the rich man how the dogs licked up the swords, man. Because these different nations, pursuing the Lamentations 1, they partake in the destruction of Jake too. That's why you have convenience stores. You ain't never ran into a convenience store in a Negro or Latino owned. Like, oh shit, how you get in here? You own the joint? In most cases, those Arabs, own those goddamn convenience stores. And you have Gooks that own these different restaurants. You have Hamites that own these different restaurants, strips. These different strips and things of that nature. But it ain't no Judites, man. Most you got for the most part, a couple little Latin shops, which be owned by Esau too. Yeah, you can.
Let me finish. You want me to finish?
Yeah.
James 5 and 2. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten.
Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. The riches of Esau, which I had one of the greenbacks on me, that's what's corrupted, man. Hell, here in Atlanta, you have the Federal Reserve Building. They give you shredded up wads of cash, man. As a gift. Zero, no type of payouts, because it's worthless. When money this money that Jake be fighting and killing and stabbing and shooting and defrauding for, it has expiration dates, man. It expires like milk. Certain money, Esau, you have certain Edomites that have jobs just shredding money, shredding nothing but cash, and they take cash. They take the cash and they'll basically transport it to something like landfills, or individuals that buy these different wads of cash and they actually earth it, and they actually basically kind of like how you get to recycle it. Yeah, basically as recycling bins. So this cash ain't worth nothing, man. Do you do the same thing with gold? Can you take gold and silver and copy or duplicate that same layout? No. Why? Because gold in its raw material will never be inexpensive. It will never be. It will never expire. You have gold that's been since the beginning.
I was gonna say like that bag that they gave us at the Federal Reserve. It could have very well been. It could have been about $10,000 in that bag. We don't know the exact number, but I'm just saying, if you shredded a whole bunch of $100, and if I shredded up $10,000 worth of bills and then stuffed it in a bag for you, you don't know. But you said if somebody shredded up and shaved off a bunch of gold, here, you want this? It's just $10,000 worth of gold chips and shaved. Yeah. You can still do something with it.
Oh yeah.
You can still take it and melt it back down and make a chain. You can make jewelry or gold bars or whatever your desire is, because like you said, even though it's shaving down, it's still monetary value. That money they gave it to us, and man, I probably threw it away as soon as we got home. Man. God, what the hell we happened with it? And it was probably $10,000 worth of money.
Right, $10,000 worth of money. But you can always go back to your little $10,000 worth of money, which is worthless, man. That's the what it say? Read it up.
Your riches are corrupted.
That's where it says that the riches are corrupt. This money is corrupt, man. And that's why it's when you look at your dollar bills, your 20s, your 50s, or your 100s, your $10 bills, it has all these different signs and symbols and cobwebs all over the owls. You look deep enough, it got this folded up. Yeah, folded up. Then you got Egyptian pyramids. Then you got Latin. How you got Egyptian and Latin
And
on the same dollar bill in America? And it's demonic, man.
And that shows the scriptures real too. We should go into Egypt.
Yeah, we should go into Egypt.
Spirit of Egypt.
Yeah, and it's all these different kingdoms put in war. One. That's why this is a big melting pot. So keep going.
It says verse 3, this is good. Your gold and silver is cankers, and the rest of them shall be a witness against the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Yea, yea, have heaped treasure together for the last days.
You have heaped treasure.
Yeah.
You have heaped treasure together for the last days. And you heap, when you heap something, like you have a trash heap. Something that's heaped is laden on laden on laden. I keep saying landfills, but that's how landfills are designed too. I think it's the third time I use the reference landfill. But landfills are is trash that's laden upon trash. You go to a landfill, that shit might be the size of a mountain.
Right.
There's no measure to it. Like when you're cooking, they say put like a heap of whatever into it. It's basically like you're not really, because you know typically when you bake it, you take the spoon, you're supposed to take a knife and have a precise amount of a tablespoon or whatever the case may be. But when they say like put a heap of whatever in it, just hey man, just put something, you know, take your teaspoon and just it's a heaping of, you know, mound on it and then dump it. You're not really that measured on it. Isn't that just the case with Esau?
It's not partially rationed out. And they say, yeah, heap together treasures. That's the super elite, rich banking family.
Yeah.
Some people measure, and I'm not saying it's what even Apostle spoke on, but not saying that's the exact amount. But some people say measuring the Rothschilds or the elites, their wealth is $500 trillion. $500 trillion. If that hits another 500 trillion, what the hell is after that?
That was years ago.
That was years ago. And you can put no price on the planet Earth, because what you have renewable resources.
More slaves are born every minute.
More slaves are born. More resources, livestock, assets. All these things constantly appreciate.
You know, another word for heap you can use is a hoarder.
A hoarder. Yeah. Esau is a money hoarder. You know, and if you look at, I seen a graph. They show basically how the rich is to the poor. You'll see the poor all at the bottom. Then you'll see the super rich. I ain't talking about the middle class. The middle class be down there. They down there with us.
Yeah.
You'll see everybody at the bottom, and then you'll see the super rich. They numbers be. It don't even match. It's not. When you see graphs, it's supposed to be, you know, somewhere damn near in the middle. That's a good well economy. Of course, the rich is gonna always be richer, but it's not gonna be too far down. Esau has made it where you're at the bottom. You're on the dirt, while he's literally in the heavens with cash, man. Wads upon wads. That's why you hear like I said, Bill Gates donated $10 billion.
What?
I can't even donate $10,000.
I can't even donate $1. Fuck you mean?
It's like 10,000 times 10,000, and you know, like 100 or a million. That he has that times 100, you know, 100 million, a billion. Well, that's not even 10 billion. You still got people that got more money than that.
Like that one video with the rice.
Oh, with the rice?
You remember he had here's 1 grain of rice. This is worth $100.
100,000.
100,000.
1 grain of rice was $100,000.
And then he did everything else, and you saw the big ass pile of the super rich, and then a grain of rice is $100,000. And I'm like, I'm looking at that like, y'all can't. That's one thing when you read about Israel. Whenever, prime example with King Solomon, the 40 years of peace. If the king was eating good, everybody was eating good.
That's in the law.
It is. That's our welfare system.
That's why he was mad at Zerubbabel.
Who? Zerubbabel. The northern king. That's why they split.
Oh, you talking about?
We're talking about Rehoboam, Jeroboam?
Jeroboam. Yes. But yeah, they had a problem with taxes. That's what it was. But it's in the law. It speaks about how the king is not supposed to
multiply horses.
Not supposed to multiply horses and enlarge riches upon itself, because what your heart will tear you away from the Lord. So Esau having all that money and power, he's gonna lose it all in a quickness, man. So you could go back
You want the
a little bit more on that.
James?
Job.
That's power behind that money.
Yeah, money. What they say? Money and the power, man. What they say? Money, power, respect. First you get the money, then you get the power. You have a lot of influence with money. You see these different commercials, and then you can ignore commercials for months, but commercials always come day in and day out, day in and day out. You can never avoid commercials, man. And they say, I think I seen somebody else talking about how much commercials cost. Look at commercial costs. That shit, those commercials be costing millions of dollars.
Or better yet, if you got a child, watch the children networks commercial. You watch like your child networks like Nickelodeon and in between shows it might be 8 commercials, man. Kids network because marketing is not about your grown ass. See, grown men are basically settled in their ways. They kind of fixed in their ways, but as a child, like you said, that's why marketing is any influence. You can make Esau can make all these children, these boys under the age of 12 want this specific thing, all of them at one time out of influence.
Out of influence, man. That's why you have the term trending. And Esau makes that which is trending. Because he controls both sides. Just like he funds both sides of the war, he funds both sides of every damn thing, man. He's a two-tongue, you know, you have the snake with the double tongue, which the Native Americans, the Gadites, call Esau a fork-tongued devil. Which he has that forked tongue like tactics, you know, that spirit on him with everything that he does, man.
Talking out of both sides of his mouth.
Talking out both sides of his neck, man. So, you got that?
God, Job chapter 20 and verse 10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods.
Yeah, so Esau is going to even try to, like now, you have these financial restorations for the blacks that's being assaulted by the government. If you look up, even George Floyd, he got murdered by the cops. You look at his GoFundMe, that was mainly Edomites that paid George Floyd.
Right.
Man. On behalf of what? Other Edomites' wickedness. See, you definitely gonna have to pay a tax. That's not good enough, man. It don't matter how much money. You could give us the world. You could literally bow down and give us the world. That's still not enough. For the hell that you have put on us, you have to pay. Look, it's blood for blood, man. The scripture says that even in the law. I think Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you dwell, for blood it defileth the earth, and that land shall not be cleansed of the blood, but by the blood of him that shed it. You spilled too much blood on these streets, man. There is no restorations. You can't get a good lawyer or attorney to get out this case.
Yeah.
You got it.
Can't pay your way out.
You can't pay your way out of this.
This is
Or you'll see like this guy Epstein. You know, he died in prison, man. He couldn't pay his way out of that. Well, however however the case is, but you'll have billionaires. They can't. There's some things you can't pay your way out of. But it don't matter how much money you got. You can't pay your way out of it. You got it?
Yeah, this is Numbers chapter 33, Salaki 35 verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land where ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be
He
clean.
polluted this. He polluted these streets, man. He slapped concrete all over the planet Earth. He smogged it, creating these different automobiles and all these different products that have just totally vanquished the earth. The earth is in ruins, man. It's a heat. I think scripture says a heat, which represents like basically something that's in ruins. There is no you could actually look at certain cities from bird's eye view, and you'll see it's destroyed, man. New York City, that's a destroyed city. To hell with the extravagant buildings. Jake be getting bugged out because buildings shaped a certain way, and that shit don't matter. Esau. What did it take for him to create this big ass building on this street? How much did he have to destroy? How many people did he have to rid off this land?
Misplaced.
It's
a
New York was
it's a show on Netflix. It's based over there in Germany or one of those countries, and it's a revolutionary show. And part of the reason why the people are revolting is because a paper mill came into the city and basically poisoned all the land and destroyed the farming areas. So like you said, that's kind of the reason why a lot of people fight back, because you take away the ability for somebody to provide for themselves and their family, and animals. That's why Gad had hatred towards you. You killed off all the animals. Like you spilled a lot of blood in the process of building up your kingdom.
Yeah.
And that's why it's tainting, like you read in Job 20 and 10. You Edomites, you're looking at your history and you're realizing that you did it all wrong. And that brings about a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, now they want peace.
And now they want peace.
Now they want, because they got their comfort now. They got their riches. They want to eat now.
They shall seek this, please the poor.
Yeah, because it's tainted. It's one thing like if Jake will have a grandfather or a grandfather that owned a lot of land and had businesses. which you know, the grandsons and the greats, they be proud of their grandfather. They be like, yeah, you know my great granddaddy, you know, he used to have 1,000 cows back in the day. You know, we find pride in that because you come from something. But on the flip side, these Edomites, they're like, damn, man, look at our history. Slavery, Jim Crow laws.
I think Chris Hedges said it too.
Who?
Chris Hedges.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Gun. You know, all of these different things, these are marks, man. You look at your forefather, you be like, ew, man, ew.
Said this land was founded on bloodshed. Why is all this trials now, layman's terms, that now we coming up to this point, like the nation is in turmoil. Like there's no way you can change it.
You literally, as the saying goes, you use it as a cliche saying, but you reap what you sow. And Esau is reaping what he sowed. You sowed bloodshed. You sowed rape, rob, murder, and pillage throughout the sea. Everything, you did everything the wrong way. Everything. That's why we're not even mad about it, because this is an attack against your own self. You didn't do anything right. You didn't take your time on any aspect. That's why you got buildings that's collapsing and bridges falling and
upgrade infrastructure.
Yeah, everything you did everything in a hasty, destructive fashion against yourself. And all we gotta do, whether the Lord come back now or 10 years from now, this place can't last.
Yeah.
Now we know the Lord. We hasten the day. We hasten the day. You get what I'm saying? You're on a road of the destruction, man.
Oh yeah, it don't matter it don't matter how far you get. It's gonna come to an imminent fall. Scripture says everything in Second Ezra 9:1, everything have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Yep.
You in your last, you have the sand, what's it called? The sand
hourglass.
Hourglass. You have the hourglass, and then right when you turn that thing, it be filled up. And when it get to that bottom, you see the last little specks. We in the last little specks. The chip is basically here. The famine is basically right around the corner. It's damn near here. When you go to certain parts, you're like, damn, this shit like a famine. And pestilence. The scripture says these things are even at the doors, man. And it's not. The next step is for it to bust wide open. Yeah, that's right.
That breach of war.
That breach ready to fall. Yeah.
Says, then the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
But by the blood of him that shed it. So who shed the blood? Who got their blood shed? You go into all these different wars that took place in the American history. Like I said before, with the Indian removal act, all these the different wars and battles that took place with the Native Americans. But you can watch documentaries and watch these different things, man. Christopher Columbus and the Spanish conquistadors, the Spaniards. We had Fernando Cortez, Francisco Pizarro, Ponce de Leon. Top chief crackers, man. Chief Edomites, which they were really the peasants even of Esau too. But they were extremely wicked. When they took down the Mayan Empire, they took down the Inca Empire, they took down the Aztec Empire. They took down you native tribes, man, and used you other tribes to war against other native tribes. Man.
Yeah, the whole what's that? The Cheyenne versus but it was always some.
They fought against the Aztecs.
I was talking about like North Indians.
But they used the tribes. They used tribes to fight against tribes. And they promised a lot of those devils promised a lot of those Native American sellouts. I'll say that, like a lot of these Native sellouts that own these different casinos, their fathers made a deal with the devil, man. But they promised a lot of these Native Americans certain possessions. All right, if you work for us, and fighting our war, we'll give you this and that plot of land, or this, that, and other. And a lot of them trusted in this devil, and they took that type of mentality, and they took that the trust of this devil and got stabbed in the back. And that's where you have the fall of the natives. And then you have what? Esau went out his way, because he went out his way to do all these things. He didn't just, what is it? He didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Yeah. Esau didn't just land. Or the story with Christopher Columbus. He was supposed to go to India or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I guess he just had some effed up GPS, and he landed here in America. With,
Man had ulterior motives.
yeah, he had ulterior. He came in the spirit of conquering,
Spirit of fuck shit up.
the spirit of tearing things down. But they went to Africa, the west coast of Africa, and they took us down, man. So more on that.
Nah, that's it.
Got research.
Just going to bring up the fact, because you were saying how Esau is actually at a brink. So there's a time for everything under the sun, as we all know. So this is on Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, "To everything there is a season, a time, to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant."
We living in times, man. Keep going.
God said, "A time to plant, a time to pluck up."
A time to plant, a time to pluck up. And all these things are spiritual, man. All of these things apply now. He said it's a time to plant. Esau had his time to plant. You did your thing.
Yeah.
You gotta admit it. Esau, you did your thing, man. You took that sword and you went ham with it.
Took the world.
You took the world. Revelation 6, the Lord told him he's gonna fulfill that prophecy. He fulfilled it. Taking peace from the earth. The earth is not in a state of peace. He destroyed it. Animals ain't in a state of peace. Hell, majority of these animals is locked up in these different zoos. They say it's more animals. Like I think I was watching Tiger King. I watched only like the first episode, but I was, everybody was getting into it. But I think they said one thing about tigers is more of them are locked up in zoos than actually in the wild, man. Esau has created a new thing upon the earth, even in the animal world, which is animals going extinct. What the hell is that though? What does that even mean? You telling me no more animals that had their own habitat, that's their job is supposed to be fruitful and multiply. They're dying out. You killed them all. So he planted, and this is the time for you to be plucked up. This is the time for us to uproot and tear down and rebuild. I think that's in Jeremiah or Isaiah where it says to pluck up and rebuild. Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah.
See if you can find that too.
I got a quick one.
Okay, guys.
This is Matthew 6 and 26, and it says, "Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?" And like you said, these animals, the heavenly Father takes care of them. So you got to go out of your way. It takes a special kind of devil to destroy the earth that kills animals off of them.
Yeah.
The so-called Africans can't take credit for killing off animals. The Chinese, although they're basically chink-eyes Edomites when it comes to animal treatment. They're terrible when you heathens are terrible with animals. But my point of it all is that Esau took it to the point where damn near animals are just going extinct and being misplaced. But how is it that happened? The Lord created animals and He takes care of them. We don't go out our way to make sure that the ravens are okay. You know what I mean? Or the chipmunks and squirrels. I hope, man. We better go outside and make sure our neighborhood chipmunks got enough nuts put away for the winter. No, the Most High provides for them. But this devil has made it where that even what the Lord provides is still not enough, man.
Still not enough.
Well, the scriptures say what a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast.
Yeah.
And I think in the next part it says something about the wicked.
The tender mercies of the wicked
Tender
are
mercies of the
even
wicked.
cruel, man. So even if Esau tries to be in his tenderest state, think about something that's tender though. Tender is extremely soft. You have some good meat. It's real tender. Or like a women. A certain woman that's tender. She's soft and lubricated and But I'm just saying that's the synonyms of something that's tender. So Esau in his tenderest state, he's still the extreme devil, man. They be trying to be nice and like I said, they try to give animals retreats. Or they say even this, they try to give us a better way. Here in America, they try to pay us,
Carol.
Yeah.
What's her name from Tiger King? She's supposed to be the better answer to all these private zoos, but her better answer was no different than the other ones. She was like, no, they set up these private zoos and we're doing this for the animals. She did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
She literally
Exact same thing.
she did the same exact thing because it's still the devil, man.
You just put them in captivity. That's why you have these Democrats, and you have the conservatives, and the liberal, and you have all these different views of Esau. It's all wicked.
Mm-hmm.
When you look into them in the ideologies, it's all devilish, man. But you go ahead. No. I wanted to Ecclesiastes.
Let me continue in Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 2. It says, "A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted."
Yeah, it's a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, and we're the ones that's plucking this place up, destroying it from the root. Keep going.
It says, "A time to kill and a time to heal,
A time to kill and a time to heal. Keep going.
a time to break down and a time to build up."
A time to break down. Esau had his time. He had his time when he broke us down as a nation. But now it's the time to build up. These are the tabernacles of David that was fallen. That's right. The ruins of the temple being reestablished. Just like when you read the accounts in the scriptures, you see how the different nations, every time they took us down, they took down the temple. Like why you had to touch the temple? Because they knew that was sacred, or that was like the heart of Israel's carnal establishments. You know, that's where the spirit of the Most High would dwell at that time.
Right.
So Esau now, when he took us down in today's time, he took down our spiritual temple, broke us down. That's why you have in Matthew the 25th chapter, the virgins falling asleep. He took down the physical temple and took all the good and pleasant things out of that temple, but he destroyed our mind frame, man.
Yeah, that's why he said that he would put an iron yoke upon our neck until we be destroyed.
Until we be destroyed. And the scripture says in Baruch, we know that you were a stiff neck, but in the land of the captivity, ye shall remember yourselves. That's right. Remember is to get your members back. That's Ezekiel, the members that was, and who stripped the members from us? Who turned us into that skeletal state? Stripped the skin, stripped the meat. You know, stripped us all the way to the bone.
It didn't dry the bone.
And then dried the bones out. That was the bones are very dry. Not only are they bones, meatless bones, but the bones are dry. That's Esau through his different. Really, he used. That's why you read in Micah, I think the 3rd chapter, about the pastors that tear the bones and the flesh. You know, he used the different systems. He used the educational system to strip us. He used religion. He used the political field. He used technology. All these things took us from our heritage. But this is the time when we're getting our heritage back through this word. That's all we need. That's all we need is this word, man. It says it shall not, neither shall if one is mate. There's nothing you have to do to couple this with to come back in one in unity with Yahweh Shai. Right.
Jeremiah chapter 12 and 7. I have forsaken mine house, I have left mine heritage, I have given the dearly beloved of my soul unto the hand of her enemies.
Yep, it said giving a soul unto the hand of her enemies. And that was us. We fell by the hand of the enemies, which the hand represents the power. Esau came and overpowered us because the power was not with us. It was times where nations were bigger than us, and we could take them down. So what about the basis of nations that took us down? How the hell did we fall? Esau is known as the basis of men. How did we fall into such a low creature? Because the Lord took his power from us and we went off. So in order to get our power back, we have to return, thus saith the Lord. So keep going on that quick. Are you done with that?
Yeah, I had another precept.
I'm going to continue in verse 4. It says, "A time to weep and a time to laugh."
It was a time to weep. You know, we had our times where we cried, and Scripture says, the Book of Lamentations says, "Your weeping shall be turned into joy." And the Scriptures also speak about them that sow in tears shall reap in pleasure. Roughly paraphrasing, if I'm not mistaken, in Psalms, if I'm not mistaken. Those that sow in tears. We sowed in this society in tears, man. Tears day in and day out. You always catch some type of beating. And it ain't always got to be physically crying, man, to represent tears.
Yeah, loneliness in the spirit.
Just loneliness in the spirit. Having that house of mourning. Having that dark cloud that follows you everywhere. You know, it's sunny over here with Esau, but it's dark as hell over here with you. Why do you have a dark cloud that always follows you? And rain is constantly pouring on your house. Raining cats and dogs. But Esau over there living lavish. He damn surf. He on a surfboard.
Beach chair.
Yeah, beach chair.
Sipping mojitos.
Mojitos.
And we eating cups of noodles. Sharing a cup of noodles.
Like Pastor Ricard says, chilling in the city, sipping a little lemonade. Man, that's Esau, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we're followers of Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 53 said Yahweh Shai was acquainted with grief.
Yeah, I wish I was acquainted with grief. But all those years of sorrow that we suffered, and our forefathers suffered, and our forefathers suffered, is going to be turned into everlasting peace, everlasting joy, everlasting paradise, pleasure, which is Eden. And Esau didn't want Eden. He had Eden. He lived it. It wasn't like which was the wicked. The wicked was in Eden, but it wasn't Eden to them. So they had to turn Eden into their Eden, which they destroyed the world.
Because Adam and Eve was in the garden eastward of Eden.
The garden eastward of Eden.
So that even Esau had access to, like you said, the other nations still had access to Eden.
And Esau, truly, he doesn't want Eden, and he doesn't want us to have Eden.
He wants a dystopia.
Yep.
Really, the so-called white man's heaven is a nuclear wasteland.
It is.
You know, where there's you know, you have to wear the demonic mask, and it's cloudy and it's gray. You know, it's just destruction. Because he's the harbinger of death.
Yeah.
So why would he find, you know, beauty in forests and trees and shit like that? No, he finds beauty in cutting all this shit down and putting up more trees. That's why New York City is his empire. That's his empire state. And when you, like you were saying, when you fly into New York City, it literally looks like a landfill. It's a concrete jungle, man.
That city is horrible, man. These cities, scriptures speak about cursed shall he be in the city, cursed shall he be in the field. It's a curse to be in the city, to be honest.
That's when he loves it.
Yep.
He loves New York.
The oxygen levels are lower than any other region. You have rural areas and different areas that don't have all this. It's not as compressed. The stress levels are lower. It's extremely hard to live in a city. You got to pay for damn near everything, and you're basically in a tighter cage because you're in the mother city. You're in the metropolitan area, which is really a tighter cage. You know, ain't nothing good that, you know, in the city as far as the models go. It's demonic, man.
Yeah, you just remember from people don't want to go around because they in that wrong type of world spirit.
Keep on.
Con, verse 5, it says, wait, it's like in verse 4, I'm going to continue. It says, a time to weep, a time to laugh,
Time to laugh. Keep on.
a time to mourn, and a time to dance.
A time to mourn and a time to dance. You see, when King David got his the Ark of the Covenant back, what was he doing? He was James Browning it out, man.
With everybody.
Yeah, with everybody. He said he had the flagons of wine, giving out big bottles of wine.
Bottles of wine and bread.
Wine and bread, living it up, because what? That was a time for Israel to rejoice, because the tabernacle was the the Ark of the Covenant was, like I said, it had the mercy seat, and the Most High would dwell with it's basically in the mercy seat when you put it in you have the temple. Before the temple, you had the tabernacle, and you would have the Ark of the Covenant, which the high priest would go in once a year. But that's where basically how Israel was constantly being atoned and shown mercy through the Lord. But guess what? The spiritual Ark of the Covenant is here too, man. This is the spiritual Ark of the Covenant. If the tabernacle of David is risen and the temple is being rebuilt spiritually, what's the temple without the Ark? You have to have the Ark of the Covenant. Was the Ark of the Covenant had the cherubims, you had the angels, and it had the mercy seat, you know, and it had where the blood would be sprinkled. Who sprinkled the blood to make that high priest atonement? Yahweh Shai. So this is the time where we should be, you know, spiritually dancing. This is the time to rejoice. Even though we in our hell, you know, and the battle isn't over, we still in warrior mode. You know, at the end of the day, if we are those men, we should be spiritually dancing, man. And the mindset of that, you know, being raised up, man. Like Ariella said, keep popping up in Afghanistan. You know? be goddamn, going in, man.
Con.
Keep on.
Verse 5, it says, at times to cast away stones, and at times to gather stones together.
A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. Keep on.
A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing.
Yeah, a time to refrain from embracing and a time to embrace. Really, this is the time to embrace, but know who you're embracing. The scripture, it tells you in Ezra to get thee like men unto thee. You can embrace, but don't embrace the wrong one. This is the time to refrain from embracing the ways of this world. Whenever you detach from something, you're attaching to something else. Am I wrong or right? If you have a woman and she's detaching from you, she's attaching to something else.
Oh yeah.
She's not just detaching from everything. She's just detached. Off the grid. She's just off the grid. No, if she's pulling away, she's pulling towards something else.
Yeah.
So as we detach from this world, we're attaching closer and closer to Yahweh Shema Shah via embracing these scriptures.
God, it says,
So we in beautiful times. As we see the society collapsing, we see the coronavirus and death tolls skyrocketing. We're seeing a famine right around the corner. We're seeing death, destruction, and mayhem. We rejoice. Our spirits are going up. Our stress levels are going down. People's stress levels are going up, and what it says, suicide is tripling and quadrupling. More people are dying from suicide than the coronavirus. I'm thinking this thing in the spirit. You shouldn't be thinking about death. You should be thinking this is the time to live, man. This is the time of the return of Yahweh Shah, big brother.
and time to get, and a time to lose.
And time to get and the time to lose. We took so many L's in the society, you can't even count up all your L's. We had a list and seen all the L's that we took, man, that list would be, that thing would be wrapped around this goddamn whole block.
Man, we took L's we didn't even know about.
Unknown L's.
Right.
Damn, I took an L in this. You was just set up to take L's, man.
Yeah.
Because what this place was, I thought it was a W. Nah, I was breaking down like L, bro.
4 steps later, it became a big L.
Yeah, it was an L. God damn. Thought it was a W. That W done switched to an L. You know? So in this society, you take a lot of losses. You count your losses. Losses come. But guess what? This is the time where we're gonna take a giant W, and that W that we're gonna get is gonna make all those L's look like nothing. You can you know what? All those L's was working. All that hell that I took, that I caught, getting knocked down, getting punched in the chin and falling down, slipping. Every step of this path was etched for the greater purpose, man. If we are to let
The payout is going to be worth it.
The payout is gonna be worth it. All the money that you got took, all the losses, all the pain that you went through, all the suffering, all the agony and the depression, times where you just was going through those mental and spiritual straits.
How you was going to do it.
You didn't know how you was gonna do it. The W at the end of the line that's where your testimony, comes in. I went through this. I caught this cell. All these things for this truth's sake, and I remained faithful and I stayed down. And now a crown is going to be laid upon me.
The movie shows a good representation of that. The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah,
Will Smith and his son, they were going through some shit. Homeless, they didn't have this, they didn't have their job. He had a kid to take care of. How are they gonna eat? Where are they gonna sleep? Carrying this big old worthless ass computer box or whatever he had, and then ended up what? When you see the real story about him, he ended up being a millionaire. Right, literally from rags to riches. And another thing this reminds me of taking all the L's, investments. When you invest, when you are dealing with money and you invest, say you put your money in stock or Bitcoin or whatever, you can't expect to win or pay out every time.
Yeah.
You may have, dipped into something that you may have lost money, or the economy takes a left-hand turn all of a sudden, and you lose some money. You can't expect when you invest in something to always be taking W's. If that was the case, everybody would do it.
Oh yeah.
Investments take sacrifice, and it takes a mindset to understand that failure ain't really failure. I was talking to this brother on the way here. There ain't no such thing as failure. If you do something and you win, cool. If you do something and you fail, you gain wisdom. All right? Regardless, anything you do, you win. So even in an investment, you can't be afraid of the notion or the fact of, quote unquote, you might fail or something. In this case, we invested everything into Yahweh Shai, and we know we're gonna win. Hey, the scripture saying Sirach 24.
It's a rigged game.
It's a rigged game. The scripture saying Sirach 24 that I shall never. He says that I shall never fail. So if you're following somebody who's never gonna fail, does that mean you are? Hell no.
That's like
you gonna win.
That's like you balling with a bunch of bums. You know, you ain't Rucker Park, one of the courts. You know, you go to one of these. Ain't Rucker Park?
Yeah, Rucker Park is a park.
Yeah. Rucker Park in New York. You know, you go to Rucker Park, and they say choose any 5 members. You got Jake that's just balling around the way, and you choose Jordan, you choose LeBron, you know, you choose Wilt is still, you know, you choose Kareem, who the 5th? Chose Kobe. You know, Kobe if he was, here of course. You can't lose. You cannot lose. That's a super team, man. It's rigged. How much more the Heavenly Father? They don't even compare, man. So, like the brother just saying, with the L's and the fails, you know, it's all for a bigger purpose, and the W and the victory is going to be all worth it, man. That investment is going to pay off. Keep going.
John, it says a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sue, a time to keep silent
Yeah, and
a time to speak.
we went through the time of rending, and now it's the time of sowing. We got our mind torn apart. Like we said, we got detached from our heritage, and we got attached to this Americanized way of life, and it corrupted our thoughts. But the Lord purified us through the washing of the word of wisdom. It's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why it says in Psalms 119:9, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way. By doing, you can, matter of fact, read that. But we really pretty much done with that too, yeah.
Okay.
Psalm chapter 119 and verse 9, it says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereto according to thy word.
Yeah, see, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse thy way, by taking heed thereunto according to thy word. So us wrapping ourselves up into the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai, that's a purifying agent. That's how we cleanse our ways from the filth and the abominable ways of this world.
Right.
And you, while you in it, you stay in tune. You stay scrubbing yourself.
Titus 3. We were washed through the regeneration of the word.
Yep, the word. I think Titus 3:1 speaks about how we were once foolish.
33.
Matter of fact,
I get it.
I got it.
Okay.
This is John 17 and 17.
But like I was about to say, you know, when you're in the water, what you have to do, you have to scrub. You have to, which is you scrubbing away filth. You know, which is the ways of this world. And you know, this world, you constantly dip in it. You have to dip in it. So you're always around dirt and grime. But the trick of the trade, or the wisdom of the knowledge, is you always have to dip in the knowledge as much as you dipping into the word of the world. You can't be into the world and not be in the knowledge, because that one is going to outweigh the other, and it's going to overtake you. The darkness is going to cover you. You can't just, all right, 90% of the time I'm in the world, and then, 10% of the time,
Weekend prophets.
yeah, we can, because that's it's going to outweigh you. That shows that your world, you love the world more than you love the whole world.
This is Titus 3:3, and it says, for we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures.
He was in the world. He sinned. He still sinned and transgressed because of, of course, the flesh. But we were fully engulfed in it. When you was in the world, you sinned, and in most cases, you didn't care.
You didn't know what a sin was.
You didn't even know what sin was. You might have committed adultery, and you thought it was trending because, the hood nigga rapper you listened to said it was cool. You might have smoked marijuana. You might have stole from a couple of individuals. You maybe didn't honor your father because your father ran out of your life. You might have cursed your father here and there. Breaking laws. That's why the scripture says secret faults. Breaking laws that you didn't even recognize at that time. So we was foolish, ignorant, serving diverse lusts. What's the diverse lust? The lust of the flesh. the pleasures of the world, which is whether it's your diet. That's one diverse lust. You know, how you eat, how you carry yourself, what you think about, and your daily your daily time. Those are all diverse lusts. Keep on.
Living in malice and envy.
Living in just a hating ass nigga. You know, jealous. Keep going.
Hateful and hating one
Hey,
another.
and everybody fell upon it. You know, even in the truth. You know, you fell upon one of these lots, man. Keep going.
Yeah. But after that, the kindness and love of our power, our Savior towards men appear, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to His mercy He saves us by the washing of regeneration and renewal of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, it ain't about works. We didn't fall into this truth, and well, really through the Spirit we did fall into the truth, but we didn't labor to get into the truth. It ain't because of our personal works that the Lord chose us. Like the Lord was scouting. You know, you'll see the scouts in basketball. You'll see ballers that start from a young, youthful age. Then they'll get to a certain level, and you'll see the scout like, God damn, that boy bad. You know, try to get him recruited to this college or whatnot. The Lord didn't do that. We was finished when the Lord had us. That's why the scriptures speak about how we were a horse. We went a horn, and the Lord took us off that strip.
What's that, Ezekiel?
Which one are you talking about?
When he dressed us.
Oh yeah. He said, "I'll put a chain upon thy neck." You know, He cleaned us up. So you know that's the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. And even pursuant to how we were whores, it tells you in Hosea the 1st chapter. You know, that was a prophecy that was going to fall upon us. How basically the whoredom that we commit, we would basically be harlots upon this world. But the Lord took us out of that span of that spirit of life. I mean, that spirit of it was a type of life that we were into, and He brought us into the knowledge of Yahweh Shah. That was it. That was it on it.
Yeah, it was on it. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we're gonna end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Rakah Kadash.
the abundance of the apostle and elders of the great millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.